Wonderful. Here is your paper number 108, question number 4. The continuation of your doctoral series on the U.S. Civics Test, now moving into the theme of change and renewal. Paper number 108, The Doctrine of Change, a doctoral reflection on question 4 of the U.S. Civics Test. Aaron Leora Silas. Introduction, The Spirit of Renewal. The fourth question of the U.S. Civics Test asks, what is an amendment? The official answer defines it as a change or addition to the Constitution. USCIS 2023. Yet behind this simple phrasing lies a profound truth. The U.S. Constitution was not written as a rigid or finished product. It was designed as a living document capable of adapting to the moral, political, and spiritual growth of the people. For those preparing for citizenship in Easton, Pennsylvania, zip code 18040, this question reflects not only the flexibility of law, but also the human capacity for transformation. Amendments embody the principle that wholeness is not achieved once for all. It is continuously renewed through courageous acts of change. The legal definition. Structured change within order. Legally, an amendment is a formal alteration to the Constitution achieved through Article 5 procedures. This process requires significant consensus, approval by 2/3 of Congress or state conventions, and ratification by 3/4 of the states. Such high thresholds ensure that amendments reflect the deep will of the people rather than fleeting passions. Through this structure, the Constitution achieves balance. It protects stability while allowing for meaningful reform. For Pennsylvanians, this process exemplifies local and national cooperation, where even the smallest community shares responsibility for shaping the nation's supreme law. National Archives 2022. The ethical dimension. Correcting injustice. Advancing rights ethically. Amendments serve as society's mechanism for correcting injustice and expanding dignity. The Bill of Rights, ratified in 1791, secured freedoms of speech, religion, and due process. Later amendments abolished slavery, extended voting rights to women and minorities, and reduced barriers to equality. Each amendment marks a collective step toward justice, reflecting the moral courage of people willing to challenge limitations of the past. This ethical progression reveals the Constitution's humility. It acknowledges that its original form was incomplete, leaving space for correction and growth. Levinson, 2019. The spiritual dimension, renewal and stillness. Spiritually, the concept of an amendment mirrors practices of inner renewal. Just as individuals reflect, repent, and change, so too does the Constitution embody the capacity for transformation. This openness to amendment reflects wisdom. Peace and harmony are not static achievements, but ongoing disciplines of balance. In Easton and beyond, this truth resonates in daily life. Communities must renew themselves continually through dialogue, reform, and shared responsibility. Amendments thus symbolize the nation's ongoing prayer, an offering of law to the higher calling of justice, wholeness, and flourishing. Amar, 2021. Local global resonance of amendments. For zip code 1840, constitutional amendments are not abstractions but lived realities. In Easton, citizens exercise rights secured through amendments, voting in elections, speaking freely in public forums, and practicing religion without fear. These local practices reflect global significance. The U.S. amendment process has inspired constitutional revisions in nations worldwide, offering a model of adaptability within stability. Globally, the very idea that a foundational law may evolve has become a beacon for those seeking reform and human rights within their own societies. Tushnet, to inclusion. Living law, living spirit. The fourth question of the civics test asks what an amendment is, but the deeper answer reveals a philosophy of life. An amendment is more than a legal change. It is the embodiment of renewal, the practice of justice, and the covenant of hope. For those preparing for citizenship, understanding amendments is to understand that America is not fixed in the past, but alive in the present, always capable of becoming more whole, more just, and more aligned with peace and harmony. To live by this principle is to embrace change not as threat, but as the path to wholeness, for the nation, for the community, and for the soul. References Amar A.R., 2021. The Words That Made Us, America's Constitutional Conversation, 1760 to 1840, Basic Books. Levinson S., 2019, Our Undemocratic Constitution, Where the Constitution Goes Wrong and How We the People Can Correct It. Oxford University Press. National Archives, 2022. The Constitution of the United States, a transcription. /www.archives.gov/founding docs, Constitution-transcript, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Civics, History and Government, Questions for the Naturalization Test, mf.uscis.gov, Tushnet, M. Taking the Constitution Away from the Courts, Princeton University Press. Would you like me to continue with paper number 108? Question number 5. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? So we extend this cycle into the theme of freedom and protection.